Hello, dudes and babes. DT here. Welcome back to my channel. Oh, welcome if you're here for the first time. Today, I'm bringing you an awesome video where I'm going to recap my top 3 favorite takedown moments of the Sparky this current week with my favorite lady princess. And as you can see, the deck is now featuring the Inferno Tower. I'm going to break it down for you and tell you exactly why I'm using the Inferno Tower. As you can also see, I've gotten a magical chest, but there wasn't anything awesome in there other than 5 Inferno Towers, which I actually really was happy to get because I've been using the Inferno Tower and now I need to start upgrading it ASAP. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at number 3 over here, me going against Mr. or Mrs. Ibliskidip. And the reason I'm going to show this to you, and this is not a victory, but this particular match, this particular game helped me to make a few modifications to my deck and learn to kind of make a few adjustments to how I play. And because of this particular game, you're going to see number 2 and number 1, my favorite replays of the week, in just a moment, and those will be quite epic. Okay, so my opponent drops the Sparky really early on, pretty much one of the first cards, and then this is where I'm thinking, okay, Sparky defense mode is on. We have to just figure it out, pretty quickly. And then of course I also see the Royal Giant, and he's backing up the Royal Giant with the Musketeer, and then there is the Sparky. And I think the mistake that I made here is that I've wasted some elixir by dropping troops prematurely. I could have just let it be. Could have just let it sit right there, and the Inferno Tower would have taken care of the Sparky absolutely no problem. So the reason I think I ended up being in a disadvantage here is because I've wasted the elixir, and look at the elixir bar up there. I am just, struggling with mine, and my opponent has got his elixir going hot and heavy. I know it's, refilling at the exact same rate, but it's just a matter of the expensive, how expensive our decks are, what we're using and whatnot. And of course, he's got his pump, which I haven't started using just yet. And thank you guys so much. A few of you actually sent me videos, links to videos where Sparky and Elixir Pump combinations are explained, or just Elixir Pump combinations are kind of broken down. So this was a really cool takedown right over there. As you can see, the Inferno Tower took down Sparky with absolutely zero trouble, but it is ultimately the Royal Giant and the Wizard that put a nail in my Clash Royale coffin. So I should have just saved the elixir in the beginning, and I think I would have been in a very different position towards the end of the game. But we all learn from my mistakes, and this is why this one here is coming in at number 3, and believe me, number 2 and number 1 are going to be much juicier. So with just a few seconds left, my opponent is going to drop yet another Sparky, and we're going to watch near takedown, because at 1 second to the end of the game, the Sparky is going to kind of start recharging, and then this is where we're going to get cut off. But overall, honestly, I have to say, I went from switching from cannon to a Tesla Tower to an Inferno Tower. Inferno Tower is definitely here to stay in my deck. It is absolutely amazing. I don't know what I would be doing without it. Look at all the damage that it is causing to the Sparky, and I mean, look, it's unbelievable. All you need is the Inferno Tower, and it is so versatile. You can use it, against air troops, against ground troops, so I'm gonna keep it in my deck. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 2 replay of this week, and this one here is a victory. And guys, here is the small little modification that I made to my deck. If you remember, in the first deck, I was featuring goblins, and in this deck I've actually substituted them, and you will see exactly what I used to sub them, and that I think made a really decent difference in my deck. And also, of course, me learning from the previous games that I do not need to be backing up my Inferno by every single card that I have elixir for, because I am able to take down the Sparky with just my Inferno Tower. Now let's go ahead and watch this and kind of just think, what is my thought process here? So the second that I see the giant coming closer and crossing the bridge, I'm thinking, Inferno Tower, you are not even going to make it close to my arena tower. And just like that, look, the next time I do this, I actually have to have like a time meter so I can measure how many seconds it took to take down the giant, because the Inferno Tower completely annihilates the giant in no time whatsoever. And look at this here. There was barely any life left in that Inferno Tower, and just like that, it still took down, or helped rather, to take down the Sparky. And of course, my wonderful princess was able to finally put the last hack into the Sparky. And here we are going for the victory from the right hand side arena, and he's using his witch, which of course was making a little bit of a comeback in the previous video. If you guys haven't seen me playing with D, go ahead and check it out. We had tons of fun doing friendlies one night, so go and check that out. I'll drop a link in the description if you haven't seen it already. Okay, so this was number 2. I once again, I think, was absolutely thrilled with how the Inferno Tower is working out for me, especially in terms of defending against Sparky. As you see, it is absolutely unbeatable. It takes so little time, and it also is a great help against the Royal Giant and a regular giant. Now, in this particular situation, when we have a giant backed up by Sparky and backed up by some cheap elixir troops, this is where you're thinking, okay, you're in trouble. But no, the Inferno Tower is going to be able to help me get my victory. The giant makes a turn, goes for the Inferno Tower. I'm getting a second giant right directly behind him, also gets taken down by the Inferno Tower, and then we have the Sparky, which too will get taken down by the Inferno Tower. Now, tell me whether or not it's beautiful. I think this is absolutely amazing. That's just so pleasant to watch. It's like Sparky is such a tanky card. It's a total tank, and so little is it takes so little for Sparky to take you down once it is in front of your arena tower or even your crown tower. So watching me win like that with the use of the Inferno Tower was kind of mind-blowingly awesome. And this is the final number 1, my favorite replay of this week and favorite victory against a Sparky. Once again, as I've mentioned, I've made a change. I've substituted my goblins with a minion horde, and even though it made my deck a bit more expensive, surely I went from 2 to 3 elixir. I think this was really, really worth it. I do know that people may think that it is in your best interest to have a cheaper deck, but when you are going up against many people with a Sparky, sometimes having goblins is really not the best for you. Even though they're only 2 elixirs, they really don't help you all that much. I mean, you saw it in the replay, in the very first replay, which came in at number 3. They don't help out all that much, and having your minion horde is really making the world of a difference. And look at my tiny little Valkyrie. I didn't even think she was going to be able to put a single hack into the tower, but she does, and what a difference she makes. I absolutely love that card. So I'm sure I don't have to go over the deck and what exactly I have there. You guys can see it. If you're watching this, if you're going up against people with Sparkies, you're probably already a pretty great level player. You probably know exactly what every card does, so I don't have to break it down for you. This is not a Sparky one-on-one video. This is just, let's watch these awesome takedowns and let's watch the Sparky go down in flames with the help of the Inferno Tower. So over here, I'm gonna wait just a little longer, and the Sparky is backing up the giant, and there's also, of course, the witch. And look at that, with everything rushing up to my side of the arena, I was getting a little nervous, not gonna lie to you. So right here, I took a few hits and it was perfectly fine, but ultimately, of course, the minion horde here comes to the rescue, and I know that if I didn't have minion horde for sure, I probably would have lost here right away, because there is no way that that Sparky wouldn't have taken down my left-hand side arena tower. It absolutely would have, and then we would have been going in either a sudden death, or of course I could have lost altogether if I just started panicking and whatnot. So the current deck is definitely working out, making a huge difference for me. And guys, if you are struggling going up against people with Sparkies and you have these cards, go ahead and check it out for yourself. If you don't have a princess, I think I've mentioned a few times, you can substitute her. There is nothing that does the job exactly like she does, but there are a few things that come close to it. So go ahead and make that substitution. You can use, like I said, archers, or you can also throw in minions. I'm already using a minion horde here, so you can kind of play with whatever your deck looks like. But these are my top 3 favorite takedowns of the Sparky of last week, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and let's go for, I don't know, 25-30 likes on this video. I'll see you in the next video of my top 3 favorite replays, and until then, DT is out.